Bev has disappeared out the back, muttering about her headache the way she does after every single one of our sets, and digging a pack of cigarettes out from beneath the register. Jeff and Dougie are gone too, all excuses about homework and curfews. Family shit, student shit, normal shit. The girl, though she's still here, still posted up at the bar like a regular, like drunk Sam. In staggering display of self-discipline, I give the Hideout 2 entire sweeps for stray glasses before I let myself circle back in her direction. The whole time, I'm scary aware of her presence, of the swing of her heels against her stool, of the melting ice clinking in her glass, of her eyes boring a hole between my shoulder blades. She doesn't look at me as I finally approach, not even when I plunk 5 dirty glasses onto the counter by her elbow. I take a breath. Do I keep my mouth shut? Do I say something? What do I say? What did you think? You're the only person who's ever listened to us. Did you like it? Did you like me?
Not bad.
But she's the one who speaks first. Her voice is low, a little smoky, but maybe that's just the fact that the air inside the Hideout is 95% cigarette fumes. She leans back onto the bar with both elbows, which, as the person in charge of cleaning the counters, I consider a brave decision. Her eyes are huge and dark in the dim light, staring straight ahead across the bar like there's some treasure hidden in Bev's shitty, flickering neon sign. The drink or the music?
Definitely not the drink.
Her mouth twisted in a tiny crooked smile. I wonder what color her lipsticks is. It's hard to tell in this light.
I ordered a Jack and Coke. Not sure what this is.
All of Bev's mixers fell off the back of a truck somewhere, I say. That's our finest Coca-Cola. More than 2 will turn you blind. She laughs. It's such a bright sound that I find myself blinking.
I'm Paige,
she says, holding out a hand. She's turned to face me now, finally, and I get my first look at her face. Freckles is my dumbass first thought, just one word like a total Neanderthal. But it's not exactly my fault because she's got a ton of them, splashed across her nose and cheeks, and framed by her chin-length, rumpled dark hair. Eddie, I say. There's a squeak somewhere around the first syllable, and I totally space on holding my hand in return.
Munson, right?
I fight back a grimace. Game over. She knows who I am, which there's no way in hell she's sticking around for another Jack and Croak. Yeah, I say. It comes out way too defensive. But I know what's coming. Better run up the drawbridge sooner rather than later. But she just smiles, self-satisfied, in a way that takes me totally off guard.
I thought that was you.
She says.
When I saw you up there, you guys got good.
Is about all I can manage.
Talent show. Winter 1981. You did that cover of Prowler that went over like a lead balloon?
Lead balloon is generous. We'd been kicked off stage halfway, though our performance, and had spent the week with members of the PTA, knocking down our parents' doors, with concerns about corroded coffin, trying to turn their precious babies to Satanism. And whoever this girl, she'd been there to witness it. I feel like I should be having a moment of recognition, but I resolutely do not. And after a few moments of dial tone staring, Paige takes pity on me.
Paige Warner, Hawkins High, class of 82.
This at least rings a bell. Warner?
My brother's still a student there. Junior. He's on the baseball team.
Which means he's probably tried to kick the shit out of one of my Hellfire kids at least once. You want another one? I ask. Because if there's one thing I don't want to do right now, it's discuss the highs and lows of high school sports. Her eyebrow quirks up like she knows exactly what I'm doing.
Wouldn't it make me go blind?
What's life without a little risk? I duck around the bar, with a smoothness that impresses even myself. There's about 5 minutes before Bev comes back from her migraine break. That's really a smoke break, and yells at me for screwing around. So I'm gonna take advantage of every single second. Heavy pour or light?
Light. I've got to get past my parents tonight.
I mix her drink, emptying nearly an entire can of off-brand pop into her glass and sliding it across to her. So, I say, watching as she takes a sip. You must be visiting. Otherwise, I'd have seen you around. She hums, watching me over the rim of her glass. I imitate, wrinkling my nose at her. Don't pretend like that's an answer. You got out of this hellhole. You're back now for however long. And for some reason, you decided to grab a drink here, even though there's tons of spots in town where you'll have less of a chance of getting puked on in the parking lot.
What if I told you this was the only bar in a 20 miles with a stage, and I wanted to hear some live music?
I glance over at the shitty amps, the creaking stage. I'd say, what's wrong with driving 21 miles? She laughs again, unless you wanted to see us specifically.
Before your ego starts inflating? No. This is just happy coincidence.
Happy, huh?
Sure.
She shrugs, running a finger around the rim of her glass.
You're right, I'm visiting. My grandma just died, and her house is basically a war zone. Hoarder to the max. I flew out for a few weeks to help my folks sort through it all, and it is grim. We found, 3 dead cats.
That's a lot of dead cats.
A lot of dead cats.
She agrees.
And maybe it's all the animal carnage, but I'm really missing LA. This is about as close to the Roxy as you can get in Hawkins, Indiana.
Wow. Los Angeles? Wow. Wow. I shake my head, struggling to clear away my visions of sand and surf and sunlight. I already felt bad enough for you, getting dragged back here. But getting dragged back from California? She cocks her head.
It's not all bad.
Something in the way she's looking at me is throwing me off balance. And I finally put my finger on why it's so unfamiliar, is the thing. Typically, somebody's staring at Eddie Munson. They're seeing the town fuck up, the freak. But Paige, she's looking at me like I'm a person she wants to eat. I haven't exactly been a monk since my disastrous kiss with Ronnie 5 years ago. There'd been Nicole Summers back in 10th grade, and memorably Cass Finnegan earlier this year. But both times I'd been able to tell, going in, that these girls had been daring themselves. They hadn't wanted to get to know me. They just wanted to tell their friends what it was like to get with the freak. Not exactly heartbreaking. I hadn't been looking to be anybody's boyfriend. But under Paige's gaze, I clear my throat. The Roxy, huh?
The Roxy, the Troubadours, Whiskey A Go-Go. Any night of the week, I'm usually at one of them.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That sounds like paradise.
It does.
She says.
Some days it actually is, but a lot of the time it's just my job. I'm a scout. Well, junior scout, scout assistants.
Like, I raise 3 fingers in a salute. Her nose crinkles again in a smile, those freckles dancing.
Like for a record label, smartass. WR Music. I work for Davey Fitzroy.
I know who Davey Fitzroy is. I feel a little faint, or maybe just a little crazy. It's objectively an insane experience to hear someone in Hawkins casually mention a person whose name I've only ever seen in the fine print of some of my most well-loved record sleeves. He's a genius.
Sure, among other things.
Batting through my starstruck haze, I raise my eyebrows at her. You got a story?
I have.
She breaks off with a rueful laugh.
I have 2 years of too many late nights dodging high guitarists and drunk drummers who think they way to get to my bosses to cop a feel on me. Not that it would even help if I was into that shit. Davey's favorite thing to do is to shoot people down, and the only way to get promoted at WR is to get somebody signed, which means I'm trapped in a fun catch-22 until Davey fires me or I quit.
She gulps her drink, the words coming faster now.
I go to all these shows, especially ones with the musicians people don't already know. I look for guys like you, like Corroded Coffin, who've been playing in dinky dives forever. But even if they're great, I've never found a band Davy'll take on. They don't have what he's looking for.
And what's that?
Something real. You can always tell when somebody is really themselves up on that stage. When you find it, you can't look away.
She taps the ice in her glass with a black painted fingernail.
Between you and me, and this is a secret,
I hold my hand over my heart. Bartender-client privilege.
I'm not sure how much longer I can keep hitting my head against the wall. I mean, I love music. I even love the music business, or what it could be. But if there's no place for me in it... Junior!
That's Bev's voice. A whip crack through the night. I jolt back from the bar, clutching my rag in both hands like it'll protect me from the 5'0" tobacco-scented tidal wave bearing down on me.
I told you the PBR 10 years ago and we're still dry.
One sec, Bev, I say. But Paige is already draining the rest of her drink, pushing back, slinging her purse over her shoulder.
I'll see you around,
She says.
Junior.
I'll be here, I say. And watch her side drunk Sam and sidle out the front door. And as I head to the back to pick up Bev's king, I realize that I'm smiling. Something real. When you find it, you can't look away. I think I know exactly what Paige means.